Hello and welcome to this video where we look at fruit and vegetables. As you watch and listen to this video, I hope that you will learn more about these foods, be clearer about portion sizes, understand what's a good choice and why. My aim is to help you understand how these foods can help you in the here and now. I also aim to make sure you feel understood as I touch on elements of a long-haul health journey that can make things tricky as you try to embrace change. As a result, I hope you will feel encouraged and empowered to make changes if you need to. So, let's make a start. What are we talking about? We're looking at the green section of the Eat Well guides. The implication of the space taken up by this green section suggests that approximately a third of what we eat every day should be of these foods. I'm guessing this will not come as a surprise. The section around the outside, in much smaller print, then says, eat at least 5 portions of a variety of fruit and vegetables every day. All versions of the Eat Well guide indicate, but don't specifically say, that foods in this group are fresh, heated from fresh or frozen, tinned or dried fruit, for example stewed or cooked, raw, cooked from fresh or frozen, or tinned vegetables. At this stage, I'm guessing you might be thinking, yep, so far so good, but where's the fruit juice? You might have thought that fruit juice and fruit smoothies should be mentioned here, and they aren't. May I say that I think they used to be. They are mentioned elsewhere in the Eat Well guides with the guidance that we should only drink 150 millilitres of fruit juice or fruit smoothies once a day. Another thing you might be thinking, what on earth are 5 portions? Does it mean 5 portions of fruit and 5 portions of vegetables? No. I will clarify what a portion is very shortly, but the key word is variety, which leads us nicely on to what are plant points. You may have heard that 30 is the magic number. This is championed by Dr. Megan Rossi, a registered dietitian and the gut health doctor. She is a lead voice in this area. And she recommends aiming to eat 30 plant points every week. This means eating 30 different plants. These should include fruits, vegetables, but also whole grains, which we spoke about in video number 3. Legumes, nuts and seeds, and we'll be talking about the nuts and seeds and the legumes in a later video, as well as herbs and spices. So hopefully you'll agree being able to include all these foods gives us all more of a fighting chance in reaching our 30 plant points each week. Just as an aside, if you're interested in finding out more about Dr. Megan Rossi and the amazing work she is doing and how it can help you, then do look at her website, which we're showing to my side. So back to portion sizes and how much of these foods should we eat. Firstly, I think I need to say that I agree with the approach of Dr. Megan Rossi, who encourages us all to focus on diversity rather than getting too caught up on portion sizes. However, for completeness, I think it is helpful to confirm that the aim for all of us is to eat at least 5 portions of fruit and vegetables each day, and that the ideal mix is 2 portions of fruit and 3 or more portions of vegetables each day. Looking at fruit, each of the following, as you'll see on the slide next to me, is considered to be 1 portion. And an easy way to think about it is that it relates to the size of your hand. And we'll show links to the British Heart Foundation hand portions shortly. When we're thinking of vegetables, as you'll see, here are the examples of what a portion is as well. I think the main thing to say is that patients have told me that about their biggest surprises with this information. And that's firstly how small the dried fruit portion is, being only a tablespoon, which is relatively small. And then actually how big the vegetable portions are. As I just mentioned, I've always found the British Heart Foundation to be really helpful in trying to describe portion sizes. Portion images are shown here, and they sometimes use the our hands, and they can be really helpful because portions then relate more to us as individuals. So someone with larger hands will need slightly larger portions of fruit and vegetables, and someone with smaller hands will need smaller portions. If you're someone who likes to see food in actual portion sizes and relate it to real foods, then there is another link here from the British Heart Foundation that will show you these, which some people actually find really helpful as well. So what is a good choice? As I'm sure you're hearing, it's variety, variety, variety. Variety is key and is essential for promoting diversity in our gut microbiome. I'll be talking more about the gut microbiome in a later video, where I will use a fair bit of poetic license to try to make this incomprehensible and amazing thing a little more understandable. I think it's fair to say that many of my long COVID patients found my descriptions helpful, or maybe they were just humouring me. But do take a look at this video that's later in our series and let me know what you think. But when we're thinking about a good choice, thinking about sustainability is important. And so with this group of foods, I suggest that if and where you can, firstly, do choose fruit and vegetables in season, which I think can take a bit of getting used to, as many of us have stopped or possibly never started doing this. But if you can and do this, it will help limit air freighted food and vegetables, which has to be a good thing. And trying to do this might inspire or perhaps re-inspire you to choose fruit and vegetables grown locally, whether you have them delivered or buy them from farm shops, markets or the supermarket. Or it might inspire you to try to grow more in your own garden, allotment, balcony, window box, or even a windowsill for some herbs. So why bother? How do fruit and vegetables help us in the here and now? So to confirm, fruit and vegetables are good sources of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants and fibre. Because of this, they help to maintain a healthy digestive system. The fibre from fruit and vegetables makes its way down your digestive system to where your gut bacteria are waiting, and it's food for them. So they give a big thumbs up and a thank you. A healthy gut has a diverse community of microbes, each of which prefers different foods. So the more variety in your diet, the more diverse bacteria will thrive in your gut. Fruit and vegetables are also good for mental, physical and emotional health and well-being. And it's not just due to eating them. I'd suggest that growing them yourself is important. From what I've read about lifestyles in the blue zones and strategies such as mindfulness. Growing food to eat is not just about being able to eat fresh produce. It's that the process of observing and nurturing plants is good for our mental and emotional health and well-being too. Just to confirm, blue zones are not where the air is blue because everyone is shouting and swearing, or because everyone is voting Conservative. I'm referring to areas in the world where people are claimed to live longer than average and generally enjoy better health compared to other regions. Here are some examples of blue zones. Ikaria, which is an island in Greece, Okinawa, an island in Japan, the Barbagia region of Sardinia, Italy, and then the Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica. Interestingly, the term blue zones originated during the original survey by scientists who used a blue pen to mark the villages with long-lived populations on a map. And then fruit and vegetables are good to eat, not just because of all the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants and fibre, but they can help you slow down. If, for example, you notice the different colours of the foods on your plate, or if you listen to the different sounds they can make when you eat them, or if you are able to notice the different textures they have. And then, of course, all that noticing, chewing and eating a bit more slowly can help promote fullness, which may help you reach a little less quickly for the less healthy foods. Fingers crossed. So, can long-haul health conditions make it more difficult to make good choices and eat the right amounts? Before I answer, may I just confirm I'm thinking of the symptoms that are shared by many of us, namely pain and fatigue, two words that of course don't even scratch the surface of the physical, mental and emotional pain and fatigue we can experience. And of course, each one of us is unique. You may be experiencing one, some or many symptoms. How each symptom affects you probably ranges from being mildly annoying through to distressing, through to completely disabling and stopping you completely. And I expect that your experience of each symptom varies from day to day. So thinking of how these symptoms can make things more tricky, I would say yes to my first question. And here's why. Shopping differently. So, for example, visiting somewhere different to buy locally grown foods in season sounds easy for many people. But I'd say, no, it isn't. I personally am already thinking about where can I park, how far do I have to walk, can I carry the items and walk with a stick if I haven't got the steadying influence of a shopping trolley, etc., etc. Thinking about growing your own vegetables. And for that, I do hope you weren't shouting at me with words such as, "And you think I've got energy for that?" when I was talking earlier about growing your own vegetables. But if you were, I get it. But that is exactly why I mentioned herbs on windowsills as a possibility even when you are struck by your worst fatigue. Thinking about preparing fruit and vegetables. So if you're trying to choose fresh vegetables or fruit, you often have to do something to get them ready to eat or to prepare them for cooking. For example, peeling, slicing, chopping. And it is just sometimes too much, even if you sit down or use different equipment that is designed to help. And then if we're thinking of eating the fresh fruit or vegetables, some patients have said to me, and I know at times it's true for me too, that if you're tired, in pain or sensitive to noise, then the thought of crunching raw fruit and raw vegetables is a step too far. I think that's where planning ahead helps and having options that don't involve crunching, so that you can still make, or at least try to make, a good choice, but with less of a negative consequence for you in that moment. And then finally, if you do try to do these things, so buy local and buy fresh, and then consistently run out of energy to prepare, cook or eat the foods, then the food goes off and your best intentions have led to unintended food waste, which is just dispiriting and frustrating. To be fair, I did wonder about including what I've just said, as it doesn't sound very upbeat or motivational, but then this can, I think if you're like us, be the reality. So as ever, hopefully hearing someone saying, "We know, and you're not alone," helps remove the "is this just me?" and can help give you the headspace to try and work out what you could do differently. So, having heard all this, do you need to do anything? Hopefully this video has increased your understanding about fruit and vegetables, how they can help you in the here and now, guided you about what is a good choice in terms of what and how much. For some of you, hearing this will have confirmed that you're on the right track, which is great. So if this is you, keep going. Keep trying to increase the variety of fruit and vegetables and keep an eye on those portion sizes. But for others, I hope you feel encouraged and empowered to give things a try, whether it's trying different foods or different portion sizes. If this is you, what could you try to do? So here are some ideas that seem to have helped my patients over the years as they have tried to have as wide a range of fruit and vegetables as possible. Firstly, don't forget that dried fruit, tinned fruit and frozen fruit and vegetables still help to increase variety. And of course they can reduce food waste for you if you're struggling to eat and prepare the fresh versions. Next thing, challenge old ideas. Perhaps now is the time to retry foods that you disliked in your younger days. When I think of that, I'm thinking of school dinners in the 1970s. But honestly, vegetables cooked differently or incorporated into a new recipe, you might find that they are now delicious, much to your surprise. Next thing, try something new. I think it's fair to say we all get stuck in a rut and often stick to what we know, but why not try something new? Try and buy things in season or look for special offers. Another idea is, why not introduce a challenge? Maybe try and have a bit of fun. Try eating fruit and vegetables from A to Z. Perhaps try eating the rainbow, which actually has a lot of reasoning behind it because the different colours indicate different nutrients. But I think it just adds a bit of fun and persuading you to, or any of us, to try and eat different fruit and veg that we might not have chosen. Another idea is add raw vegetables to your light meal. I think it's safe to say that this is a fairly easy idea, but try adding cucumber, lettuce, sliced tomato, grated carrot, sliced beetroot to sandwiches, or maybe just simply add vegetable sticks, for example, of peppers, celery, carrots and small tomatoes to your lunchbox. Then how about adding extra vegetables to recipes and meals? Try adding extra vegetables to curries or pasta sauces, stews and casseroles. In general, I would suggest that if you can, always have additional vegetables with ready meals because they never seem to have quite enough. And then how about having a side salad where you might not have done so before, for example with pizzas and other pasta dishes? One more thing, please know that I think the phrase give things a try is really important. Of course, there are going to be times when giving things a try doesn't work for you. All this has shown is that what you're trying to do didn't work on that particular day at that particular time. So if you can, do try it at another time. Don't give up. But hopefully, over time, this process of giving things a try can help this whole process of trying different foods become a voyage of discovery rather than one of success or failure, which I think feels better. And I hope you do too. Phew! I think that's it. If you would like to download the slides as a reminder of the key points from this video, then do click on the link below. We really are trying to do all we can to create these videos to educate, empathise, encourage and empower you on your long haul journey. And we do value what you think about how we're doing. And then if you feel you need more personalised support to help you in your unique situation, do book a free discovery call. We can then see if it's something I can help you with and if an individual appointment is the best way forward for you. But finally, thank you for joining me today, and may I wish you well on the next stage of your journey.